Hi, everyone. Welcome to Resonate. This is the overview of Resonate, how to present visual stories that will transform audiences. And this course has 4 sections to it. There's the context, the content, the construct, and how to connect. And we'll start with the context. It's really important. Everything we have has a strong empathy component, and that's really important. And part of all of our courses is the 3-act story structure, which is this likable hero who encounters roadblocks and emerges transformed. And as a communicator, story is going to be very important. But sometimes we get trapped in the mindset that as the communicator, we're the hero of the narrative, but in reality, your audience is the hero. Because if you put an idea out there for them to contend with, and they don't latch onto it, your idea is going to fail. So as the communicator, you're actually the mentor, you're Yoda, and you bring a message right alongside to help your audience get unstuck. We will go through and analyze lots of different presentations. One of the things we do to bring it really clear to mind how to modify to each audience is we will analyze Ronald Reagan's Challenger speech that he delivered. And you will craft a big idea. So you use the big idea as this guiding principle, as this a method to filter out your ideas, because every presentation should have one big idea, and a big idea has multiple components to it. A big idea has your unique point of view, what's at stake, and when you write it in the form of a sentence, it's a big idea. And the other thing you have to establish to create an audience journey is you have to establish the big idea, and then you have to determine, how do I want my audience transformed? Who are they walk into the room, and who are they going to be when they walk out of the room? That big idea plus the move from, move to is called an audience journey, and it's really important to start every presentation there. Then there's the content. We use deductive and inductive exercises, very much a design thinking kind of exercises, where you'll generate a lot of content that supports your big idea, a lot of contests. You'll layer in contrast. We'll have you do multiple exercises that unlock more sticky notes that you can create. And then we'll have you organize them. And you have to murder some of your darlings. It's called, you got to get rid of the ideas that don't support the big idea or may not be able to influence your audience once you understand who your audience is. And then once you have these buckets of content that you've developed, you'll write a key message for every part that you feel you need to communicate to get your big idea across. And once you've done that, now you're going to use a construct to organize that and make it into an influential presentation based in story principles. So you've heard about the 3-act story structure, goes all the way back to Aristotle. So the structure of your presentation should have 3 acts to it. It also rises and falls, that building of tension and releasing it that story has. So I had a book that was called The 100 Greatest Speeches of All Time, and I knew that there was a pulsing and a rise and a fall and a rhythm that the greatest presenters used. And once I went on a journey through story, I made a discovery about the shape of a great talk, applied it to Dr. King, I Have a Dream speech, to Steve Jobs's iPhone launch speech, and this is the shape that every great talk does, the shape of every great talk. It's also the shape of a blog post. It can be the shape of a tweet. It can be the shape I get my husband to do chores for me on the weekends. It works. Has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it rises and falls. And the contrast in it is the gap between what is and what could be. You establish what is, move back and forth structurally between what is and what could be, ultimately ending with a call to action and then the new bliss. So this is the shape that a great talk is. So you go back to your messages at this point after you've organized them, and then we're going to have you arrange them. We have beautiful job aids. Put all your key messages there, all the supporting points. Rearrange them in the best order that has the best impact, and then you're going to add all the supporting points. And then what we're going to do is we are going to rearrange those supporting points for impact, and you work with a neighbor or you work in a breakout room, a virtual breakout room, to really make sure that the points flow and that they're strong. The last step you'll do is you really want to get the right level of emotional appeal. You want to make a great connection with the audience. And to do that, there's several methods you could use. You can use an emotive anecdote, which you can learn to write stories in our Story Fundamentals course for that. And we touch on it in this course too. You could use a shocking statistic, an evocative visual, memorable dramatization or a repeatable soundbite. Now, we do all of these things in the context of the audience because you have to balance everything. You have to have the right emotional and analytical appeal to remain credible. So you can't go too far on the emotional connection level because it could reduce your credibility if you're talking to a highly analytical audience. So make sure that you do that. And one of the ways that all of these moments can pile together to make an emotional connection is what we call a star moment. And that is an acronym for something they'll always remember. What is that one thing in your talk you want them to be talking about at the water cooler when your talk is done? You make sure that you create that moment. They don't just happen by happenstance, and then you design it into your talk. So when you're done, it kind of looks like this. You overlay the emotional appeal. You say, oh, here's an emotive anecdote. Right here can be a shocking statistic. Right here can be the star moment. And then you have written your next most amazing talk that you've ever done in your life, and you kill it.